So you're into bourbon, but you're not a beginner anymore. Let me give you a few bottles for an intermediate bourbon drinker that you can go after and try. Let's take it up a notch. I'm going to give you 4 you should be able to find and 2 that might be a little tougher because let's admit it, part of being an intermediate bourbon drinker is doing a little hunting. How about the new Old Fitzgerald 7-year? Okay, it may not be that easy to find right now, but trust me, it's going to be. This bottle is under $50. It's actually quite delicious, and it's beautiful. Great step up for a beginner onto something that is slightly older and slightly more complex. It's wheated. You know I'm about that. The new Four Roses single barrels. This is an OESO, which is my favorite, but there are 3 along with the original. They should be reasonably easy to find, about $50 or less, and they're going to bump up the spiciness and the complexity. They're all different, so you can get the different ones and hunt for all 4 if you really want to, but that's a good one. New Wild Turkey 101 8-year. It's an 8-year age-stated Wild Turkey product. I love the way that the Wild Turkey mash bill tastes. It's delicious, it's beautiful, it's spicy and complex without being too crazy. Got a little bit of age on it, and this bottle's under $50. We're going to try and keep it in that price range. Yeah, gotta throw in one of my favorites. This is Redwood Empire's Pipe Dream, but this is the 101. A little bit more expensive, a little bit older, and a little bit more proof. Great step up from the beginner bottle of the Pipe Dream that I always recommend. So if you're not a beginner anymore, try out the 101. The first of the 2 that might be a little harder to get, this is Heaven Hill's Grain to Glass. There are 3 different ones. This is the wheated one, which is my favorite, but there's also a rye and a non-wheated bourbon. These are not super expensive either. Beautiful bottle from Heaven Hill. A little more complexity, a little more age. Great for an intermediate whiskey drinker. And last but not least, the Tincup, the 14er. Yeah, it's been a while since we talked about this one. This is a really reasonably priced 14-year-old bottle, usually under $70 now. It gives you something with a little more age, got some nice complexity, but a low proof, so it'll give you a chance to try and go and find this one. It's going to take a little hunting, and taste something that's a little bit older, but still a little more low proof. Your now more slightly developed palate will appreciate it. You probably couldn't have before, but now that you're not a beginner anymore, there you go. There's a couple of bottles that you can go out and get for your next stage. Intermediate, or journeyman, or not quite a beginner, but yeah, anyway, you've moved on from the beginner bottles. Intermediate's an exciting phase. It's when you start to realize how little you know and how much whiskey's really out there and how deep of a rabbit hole this whole thing is. Sorry about that. When you become more advanced, maybe we can talk about how to cope with that. Assuming that I figure it out by the time you get there. Maybe you could figure it out and tell me.